Perhaps I should try this somewhere else. There. Finished.
The moon seals are ancient talismans of the old gods. And in your case, they are the keys to unlocking an even greater gift.
Is that why Wanda was here? In pursuit of this gift?
Just as we started with you as a child, I allowed Wanda to experiment here, with the hope of focusing her powers through training in basic elemental magic.
But that is not what happened.
Wanda's connection to the old gods, to Chthon, was not the same as yours. She isn't descended from the blood, and the trials weren't meant for her.
But you knew this before she started?
I did. And you should understand that I regret not putting a stop to her efforts sooner.
Then what really happened here?
When Wanda tried to use this moon seal to access the next trial, the Bloodgate didn't open. But the seal's power did have an effect. She had visions, both terrible and somehow alluring at the same time. What started as idle curiosity became a compulsion for her.
And now I am on the same path. So where is the next Bloodgate?
Beyond the Standing Stones, if memory serves. I doubt you'll have any trouble finding it. The second Bloodgate. I should warn you, Hunter. You may find the trial ahead more difficult than I originally let on. The gods will push you harder, and you might very well fail.
And if I do?
You dust yourself off and you get back in there. Or you train, rethink your approach, and come back later, when you feel ready.
And what if I am hurt? Or worse still, what if something happened to Charlie?
Neither of you will be harmed, dear. That's not what this is about. The Elder Gods want to see what you're made of, but they're not out to get you. Well, except Chthon, but you already knew that.
Then I should make an attempt while I am here.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Just enjoy yourself. You're the only one getting an opportunity like this.
I will do my best.
Oh, and Hunter? I should mention, you'll only be able to make one attempt at the trials per night. Even the old gods grow weary of their children eventually. Good luck. When many of the Elder Gods were corrupted and became what we would call demons, the god Atum, born from Gaia herself, was set upon our world to slay these monsters. In that sense, the two of you have had a shared purpose. Fight well, Hunter, and he may receive his blessing.
Some for the rest of us. You are too weak for this fight. I see not much has changed among the world's fanatics. Your mother abandons you.
Tomb was unleashed and made quick work of the demons, but in the process, he became something of a monster himself. He even became known as the Demogorgon.
If this is a cautionary tale, your timing could use some work. I am impressed. They cannot possibly match your strength. Get you for this.
Just imagine how much more difficult this would be if Charlie wasn't after this.
Now that's something. Lilith must really want me out of the picture. I will hold the line.
I think Blade is honestly jealous that you're getting this extra training. And with live targets, too.
Welcome assistance. I saw a move like that once, centuries ago. Your loyalty to the Mother of Demons will be your undoing.
If that doesn't make an impression on Autumn, I don't know what will. Good work, Hunter.
This looks like it belongs here.
With a tomb's help, you shouldn't have any trouble uncovering the more elusive elements hidden throughout the grounds. Why don't you try out his blessing on that stone over there?
This area, it feels wrong somehow. I sense an old suffering.
Members of the local coven were persecuted here. And worse.
Witches?
Salem's history with witches may have been distorted over the years, but some things are true. The witches of Salem did their best to thwart Shaw, but he rallied his congregation against them. The catalyst of the infamous Salem witch trials. When the Coven called out in distress, it was Lilith and Sarah who came to their aid.
They came all the way from Transia, with the Abbey, to help a group they had never met?
You may not believe it, but I'm sure you would have done the same. Isn't that why the Sons are here today? Aside from that, your mother and Sarah both saw the signs of Chthon's influence. They knew there was more happening in Salem than the persecution of witches.
Chthon's corruption had taken root in the New World, just like the colonists themselves.
And while Lilith and Sarah were still preoccupied in Transia, they entrusted one of the moon seals to the Knights of Wondergore, who brought it to the Coven with the hope that its power would reinforce them enough to deal with Shaw.
But that is not what happened.
Unfortunately, no. When the plague came to Salem, the same one that afflicted your father, Shaw used it to further agitate his flock by placing the blame squarely on the Coven.
And the witches?
The mob was vicious. And the rest is history.
But what about the moon seal?
After the trials, the moon seal vanished along with Shaw. Without drawing any conclusions, I think we can both guess where it went.
If this was his church, then it is possible the seal is still here, or somewhere nearby.
You read my mind. Good hunting, dear.
Was this always here? I may have forgotten a few things, but I feel as if I would remember a decrepit church on the grounds.
You may not remember the structure, but maybe you've heard of the man responsible for it? Hiram Shaw? This was his house of worship, and like a great many things on the grounds, Sarah preferred to keep it in a sort of mystic quarantine. Even I haven't been inside.
Is that all she did while I slept? Seal things off for our protection?
She can be overzealous at times, but in this case, she was right to be wary.
So what dark secret does this place hold?
When Hiram Shaw first came to Salem, he was little more than a charlatan posing as a preacher. He managed to convince a few desperate souls to join his congregation, and with their help, he broke ground on this church. Whether it was coincidence or fate, in digging beneath the church, Shaw found something that would change the course of all of our lives. A long-forgotten page of the Darkhold.
If Shaw found a page of the Darkhold, it was because Chthon wanted it that way.
I tend to agree. That cursed book is always seeking out a way to return its master to power.
And a power-hungry preacher makes for the ideal messenger of darkness.
Yes, Shaw was an eager study, consumed almost immediately by the whisperings of Chthon and the Darkhold's power. Nearly overnight, the people of Salem, old and new, were at his threshold, waiting for the word.
Tell me about Hiram Shaw.
By all accounts, Hiram Shaw was a desperate man. Desperate for power, wealth, influence, the usual desires that cloud men's minds. As I understand it, he was a largely unsuccessful minister before his arrival at Salem, traveling from place to place, swindling whatever followers he managed to gain before being run out of town. To think that a simple man like Shaw finding a piece of the Darkhold was enough to set all of this in motion, it puts things in perspective.
What do you know about my father?
That's not an easy question, dear. What would you like to know? Was he a good man? Yes, I think he was. Your mother loved him dearly, and he doted over her. I think for a time she forgot who she was, where she came from. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. She and Sarah both deserve to find something more than just another fight with Chthon. Lilith did. Sarah didn't. At least, not for a while longer still. I honestly think that's the only thing she ever had against him, blood or not. Until we speak again.
This must be Shaw's study. The goddess of order approves. This ward is not like anything I have seen on the grounds before.
And yet, it's familiar somehow.
Like the wards of protection that Wanda invoked to protect Doctor Strange's sanctum?
Very perceptive, dear. Maybe you should approach the good doctor and see if he has any insights. And Hunter, be circumspect. Doctor Strange is no fool. Yes, dear?
Did Wanda ever make it to this place?
I suspect she did. But if she discovered something, she didn't tell me. You know where to find me, Hunter.
Something on your mind?
Nothing important. Isn't the angry children meeting tonight?
Emo kids?
Yes, that. I can never keep up with the modern lingo. Took me a decade to rid myself of thee and thou.
The meeting is tonight.
Then I should wrap up.
Are you going to the meeting?
Yes, I'll meet you there.
Are you heading to the meeting?
Soon.
One of my old high school friends was watching us fight Hydra.
Ah, Hunter, I was just admiring the collection. Someone spent a great deal of time piecing this library together. I hope you don't mind me, having a look around.
Of course not, Doctor. The library is an asset to us all.
I see I'm not the only one who's taken an interest in these works. You haven't been getting into anything precarious, I hope?
I have found something on the Abbey grounds that I think you should see.
Oh, sounds mysterious. By all means, lead the way. I typically avoid venturing this far from the Abbey, especially at night. It makes Tony nervous, you see. Not in the "I'm concerned about your personal well-being" doctor sense. I think he's actually more afraid of what might happen to my side of the forge without proper supervision. Which, to be fair, is a valid concern. There's an unsettling air about this place.
This church belonged to a preacher named Hiram Shaw. His influence turned Salem against its coven.
A charismatic personality and a fearful populace can do much evil together.
There was more to it than that.
Yes, I suspected as much. You were right to bring this to my attention, Hunter.
I thought it resembled one of your wards of protection.
There's a reason for that. It's the same magic Wanda invoked in her attempts to protect the Sanctum. But what is it that you're chasing out here? These wards aren't something to toy with.
I will not know for sure until I get past this. Is there any way to dispel it?
Unfortunately, no. What good would the wards of protection be if they were so easily broken? But I have been wrong before, at least recently. Do you have any suspicions as to who may have conjured this here?
Wanda spent a great deal of time out here, and she had the power.
She does have some experience with these spells, but why would she do that?
The only way I will know for sure is to find a way through to the other side.
I'll think on it and see if I can come up with some way to assist you, Hunter. For now, though, you'll have to be patient.
Konnichiwa, friendo. Emo kids are meeting tonight. You in?
Lead the way.
Nico runs these meetings?
Yes, so far.
Then I'll wait for her to begin.
Feels like we're getting closer to figuring out how you died. It's not too much, is it?
The memories are painful, but I have endured worse.
That's good! I mean, it's bad, but yeah, I'm glad you're hanging in there. Ileana wants to lead the ritual this time. That surprised me.
Why?
Magic taking the lead and Caretaker staying out of her way, the world must be ending. Oh, right. It is.
Are you prepared for Miss Rasputin to apply the metaphorical cheese grater to your soul?
Ileana has more than earned my respect.
She'll earn mine when she refrains from, and I quote, going with the flow. I'm certain you'll be fine. If all goes wrong, I shall pick up the pieces, as always.
The ritual today will be unlike before.
How so?
We shall make real progress. I refuse to coddle you as the others did. I will push you beyond your limits. For this to work, I must break you.
Do what you need to do.
Do not be complacent. Without preparation, there is a possibility of damage. This is why you collected the ingredients I asked you to bring. Are you ready to begin?
Can you tell me more about what you are planning?
Do you truly care?
Please give me the details.
Fine. I am using powers you can't comprehend to find an echo of your death. Then you will relive the echo. Now, ready?
You may proceed.
Limbo never forgets. It holds the echo of your death. What is your last memory?
Lilith. A muddy circle in a clearing.
Then I shall bring that echo to you. Now, you become its vessel.
I am ready.
What do you see?
My head. It is her. It is Lilith. In the circle.
Do not fight the echo. Allow it to wash through you.
No. She sees me. I advance, prepared to strike. She just watches me.
Whoa! Is that...
It is.
My child. Look what they've done to you.
You have no right to call me child, monster.
So misguided. I have never sought to harm you.
Your army says otherwise.
A distraction to allow for this moment.
Ileana, stop this! Right now!
Enough deceit! Speak plainly, or suffer the consequences.
Ileana!
No! We must proceed!
How plain can I make this, my child? If I am to remake this world, I need you at my side.
Enough! Dilungo! Retinacula!
No! You had no right to do that.
Stopping your recklessness is my obligation.
Pah! Stopping the ritual early could have destroyed the hunter's mind.
The only threat to Hunter was your sloppy technique.
You are impossible!
You will never attempt this again.
Do not constrain me!
Just gonna stand here and hope they don't involve me.
Yup.
How you doing, Hunter?
We never thought uncovering my last moments would be easy.
Yeah, I know. I just wish it wasn't so rough on you. As long as you're okay, I'm okay. The good news? We are definitely closing in. That's more than enough for today. You ready to leave?
In a minute.
Let me know when you're heading out.
Miss Rasputin was correct. Feels odd on the tongue, like a fish-flavored loofah.
You approve of her approach?
Of course not. But she was right to push. No matter what Sarah thinks, today was a breakthrough.
Well, you have that look on your face. Say what you need to say.
Are you all right? You seemed flustered.
Me? I'm fine. I didn't realize what was happening until too late. Lilith's voice, spoken through you, even as an echo, creates a mystical link. She has the means to follow that link back to you.
Trust me, I can handle that.
I don't think I could handle that. Still, with preparation, I can shield you from such an attack.
And without?
She would do to you what she did to Wanda, and I won't let that happen.
I'll attempt whatever I want. Sarah had no right to stop the ritual.
I used to think it was just me, but she treats all of us like this.
No, she singles me out because to her I am a reckless child and always will be. Maybe next time we shall learn the truth. If there is a next time. Sloppy technique? Has she confused me with Nico? There is nothing more tonight. Get some rest, Hunter.
I think that's it. You leaving?
That is it for me.
Sounds good. See you next meeting. Well, looky who it is.
Still reading Wanda's grimoire, I see.
Yeah? Why? You got an opinion about it?
Why do you insist on torturing yourself this way?
I can torture myself any way I want.
Reading her grimoire will not bring her back, and you know that.
I don't know anything for sure, Hunter, and neither do you. And for your information, I think I totally found something that might be able to help. According to her grimoire, it looks like Agatha was helping Wanda control her connection to chaos magic. And since chaos magic is a hell of a lot more powerful and ancient than Lilith, I'm thinking there's a way I can figure out how to use it to undo Lilith's hold on her.
I'm afraid I have no choice but to inform Caretaker of your unsanctioned magical activities.
Unsanctioned? Are you kidding me, Hunter? There are no rules when it comes to magic.
What you are doing is dangerous, Nico. Chaos magic is said to flow from Chthon himself. You cannot just meddle with dark forces of this magnitude without consequence.
I am a dark force. My power has evil origins, literally.
So do mine, and I am telling you, this is a terrible idea. Caretaker has made it clear that Lilith corruption cannot be removed.
Just get out! I know what I'm doing!
You must reconsider.
Oh, I must, huh? Okay, give me a second. Yeah, no, I'm still gonna do it. So get out!
So, the population density of New York always...
What is that strange ripple in the air? It is not quite wind.
I knew you would sense it. It's the transmigration of life essences from one level of existence to the next.
Human souls?
No. Insects, birds, other creatures. The Abbey is a waypoint where the veil between planes is quite thin. During quiet times such as this, you can actually feel it happening. I didn't want you to miss it.
That was thoughtful of you to think of me, Doctor.
If I am anything, Hunter, it's full of thoughts. Maybe too many, swirling around in my head, crashing against each other in a chaotic cosmos of ideas that is the madness of my mind. Reminding myself that I'm just a small part of the whole of creation is a way I calm it. It also reminds us of what's at risk of vanishing completely if your mother gets her way.
Indeed.
But I have a feeling that with a life force like yours in play, that won't happen.
That looks good. Very nice.
Hunter, let's catch up.
Thanks, Hunter.
Seems like you have got a lot on your mind.
You could say that.
Do you need to share?
I always wanted to be good at my job, but now I think it's possible to be so good you're actually terrible.
Explain.
Okay, I really wanted to show off how I could get a sample of Venom's symbiote, right?
And you did.
Right! Yay me! But in getting it, I left poor Eddie trapped under a heap of rubble.
What you did saved lives. Do not forget that.
You're right. I know logically I did the right thing. I came through for the team. But it still doesn't feel right.
I know you feel pity for your friend Eddie, but he is no longer a man. He is a monster.
No, he was a man, and the symbiote was an alien. But Lilith turned them both into demons, and no one deserves that fate. Eddie Brock may be troubled, sure, we all are. I guess that's why I can't shake the feeling that there's more I could have done.
Like digging him out from the rubble?
No, I mean helping him turn his life around. The way real heroes are supposed to.
Who knows? Maybe you will someday.
Yeah, big emphasis on maybe. If only Tony or Strange invented some kind of time machine, I could go back and keep Eddie from going down this path.
Stranger things have happened.
Thanks for the chat, Hunter. I've got a lot to think about. If anyone needs me, I'll just be here, sighing deeply.
What's up?
How is the sample analysis going?
Oh, you mean the vial of demonic alien goo Peter took out of poor Eddie. That sample analysis?
That is the one.
In a word, gross. But a fascinating kind of gross. This symbiote exists as a whole at the molecular level. Every atom of it is a self-sustaining, slimy little entity in and of itself. Yet when the molecules bond, they undergo a change state that can only be described as something out of abstract expressionism, and I can see your eyes glazing over right now.
I am sure this makes sense to you, but try to remember I am not from this time. I'm still getting used to the idea of lights that turn on when you flip a switch.
Right. I will slow down a bit, skip the science babble, and get right to the point. I think we can use Venom's slime sample as the basis of a suit.
Like a Venom suit?
No, not like Venom. No symbiosis. It would exist as an anti-symbiote, to protect you the next time you two meet. Think of it as a kind of armor. Strange and I are working on a design right now. Give me 24 hours, and I think you'll be very pleased.
I could not have predicted this outcome, but it is intriguing.
Give me a sec. Okay, what's up? Genius inventor strikes again. See ya, Hunter.
Hunter, finished your research yet?
How's your spark treating you? Any feedback? Acceptable answers are genius design, work of a genius, really anything involving the word genius.
It is well crafted. I use it every day, and it works, no matter where I am.
So you'd call it,
A work of genius?
Perfect. It's a great pull quote for the press release.
What is a press release?
Don't worry about it. Well, I had a blast. Hope you did too. I thought you'd be stuck in the past, but that was fun. Let's do it again. Yeah, after we stop Chthon from devouring Earth.
No, absolutely not. You go too far, Nico. Last time you tried to save Wanda, you almost got us all killed. I will not let you risk the safety of this abbey again.
Listen to yourself. I think I have a way of purifying Lilith's corruption, a way of bringing back both Wanda and Banner, and your response is to shut me down.
I told you time and time again, there is no way of removing corruption.
Just because you failed and never found a way of doing it doesn't mean I can't. What are you so afraid of? That I'll actually succeed?
No, I'm afraid you're becoming just like Wanda.
Oh, I see how it is. You always hated her, and now you're gonna turn that hate onto me too.
That's not what I meant. Nico, wait. Let me explain.
I don't need your explanation. I need you to stay out of my way.
Hey, fellow nerd. Read anything good lately?
You have any ideas on how to keep this team from unraveling? Because I'd love to hear them. I'm at my wit's end, Hunter. Nico is hell-bent on finding some spell in Wanda's grimoire to remove Lilith's hold on our unfortunate friends. And I can't seem to dissuade her from putting our lives in danger again. You would think she would have learned her lesson with that magic mirror trick she pulled, but now she's just doubling down on darkness. What do you think I should do about her? Because I am at a complete loss.
She is acting out because she is still grieving the loss of Wanda. She needs to heal. She needs to know you care.
If we survive Lilith's assault on this world, then there'll be plenty of time to talk about our feelings on a psychotherapist's couch. Until then, she must learn to cope, as we all must. Nico is a talented witch, no doubt, but if she persists on this trajectory, she will suffer the same fate as Wanda. Perhaps you can talk her down. She's more likely to listen to you than me. Thanks, Hunter.
Nico is certainly as daring as Caretaker is cautious. Attempting to remove Lilith's corruption is not a magical endeavor for the faint of heart.
Is it even possible to remove it?
I'm not sure, actually. It's something I should do a little research on. But if it is, one thing is for sure. All magic has its price. The question is, are you willing to pay it to help get Wanda back?
I am not so much concerned with what toll this magic could take on me, but on Nico. I do not want to see her fall.
But you should be concerned with how this will affect you. I know I am. You are more vulnerable than you know. The crack in your collar may be hardly noticeable to the naked eye, but it's a significant crack in your energetic armor. A spiritual vulnerability that cannot be overlooked or understated. A vulnerability she will exploit. If you choose to defy Sarah and help Nico remove Lilith's hold on Wanda, it might be at your own peril.
Be assured, Agatha, I have no intention of unnecessarily risking myself or anyone else in this abbey.
You always protected others from the powers of darkness, even if it was your own mother. Something I loved about you when I was alive, and still love about you now that I'm gone. Whatever happens, Hunter, just remember to keep yourself intact. We can't take on Lilith without you.
I have heard that Wanda's power comes from Chthon.
The way I understand it, as a child, Wanda and her family lived in Transia, not far from Mount Wundagore. Within that mountain, the dark god Chthon had long been imprisoned, his corruptive influence an ongoing threat to the people of Transia.
And Wanda was affected?
Whether Chthon reached out to Wanda, or he found her by chance, I can't say. But Wanda was blessed or cursed by Chthon, touched by the power of chaos magic. While he had hoped to make her some sort of acolyte, she proved to be more capable than even he foresaw.
What can you tell me about Chthon?
One of the first Elder Gods, Chthon is said to have existed for tens of millions of years, well before the dawn of humanity on Earth. Believe it or not, he wasn't always the bastion of evil that we know today.
This story sounds familiar.
As the legend goes, the downfall of the old gods was actually brought upon by Chthon's brother Set, who found that by consuming his siblings, he could gain their power. After Set consumed Hypus, Chthon followed suit with the others, and in this way, many of the first gods also became the first demons.
And how did he come to be imprisoned on Earth?
In the same way Hydra has worked to restore Lilith, various cultists of the past sought to revive Chthon to wield his power. When Chthon failed to cooperate, these same cultists did the only thing they could. They locked him away again.
What do you know about Transia?
Transia is your ancestral homeland, Hunter. The birthplace of Lilith and Caretaker. It has always been a sort of magical junction, drawing in every type of occultist, sorcerer, and even the occasional elder god. The Abbey grounds still behave in much the same way, even after all this time.
And Wundagore?
Wundagore Mountain has always played a prominent role in whatever scheme was underway. Chthon himself is said to have created the Darkhold, deep within the caverns of the mountain.
What was Caretaker like when she was younger?
I'm sure it's difficult to remember now, but Sarah wasn't always the steadfast contrarian. In our younger days, she was much more enthusiastic about dashing off to save the day, not unlike some of our younger allies among the Suns.
That does not sound like the Caretaker we know and love.
Keep in mind, Hunter, Sarah has faced a great deal of loss in her time here. Everyone she ever cared about, in fact. I would say she's earned the right to be disagreeable, at the very least. She is a very strong woman. I'm not sure I would have held up as well given the same circumstances.
Who were the Knights of Wundagore?
Another mysterious group of heroes in a world full of mysterious groups. Of course, I'm no expert on transient history. I do know that the Knights of Wundagore were formed as a response to the growing threat of Chthon's influence near the mountain.
What exactly did they do?
Hydra was hardly the first to dabble in chthonic schemes. Many have tried and failed to awaken the Dark God. Over the centuries, the Knights fought alongside a number of allies who stood against the various crazed worshippers of Chthon.
You were there? At the witch trials?
Not initially, no. If I had been, I like to think I could have stopped them, before it was too late. I sensed something was wrong, and when the witches cried out in distress, I came to Salem as quickly as I could.
But Shaw had already committed his crimes against them?
Yes. It was a devastating discovery. And for the longest time, I blamed myself.
But you see now it was not your fault.
I've come to understand that we must accept the past and move on. But that doesn't mean I won't always carry that pain with me.
I know that feeling all too well.
I know. And I wish you didn't, dear. I really do.